let's cut an edge. We'll go through sharpening the saw because I felt the need to rototill a little bit this morning. I don't know why. It's rather wet, as you can see, so I was just cutting ahead. But same thing as a lot of guys. I don't cut the back. This would be your back of your tooth. Let's move this in so you can see it. This would be the back of your tooth. I don't do the backs. Never really did. Don't play with it too much. I can get plenty of speed out of this. I'll play with my rakers. I'll play with my teeth here. I kind of go everything by look and feel. I don't count the strokes. I don't count, I will on rakers, I will count the strokes, but I'll kind of go the angles all by feel. And Oregon has that nice little line on their chain. If you can see that, use that for a reference. If I know I'm going to be cutting a lot of softwood, or I'll play with the angles depending on the species of wood I'm going to cut, steep or whatever. But I mean, I just kind of go till I get the tooth where I want it. Yeah, sometimes you get the teeth a little bit out of whack. But I'll tell you what, unless you really trash the chain, you can keep her pretty good. And this is just a brand new file. I just put it on this morning. Nothing cut like a brand new file. Hot damn, is that nice. I'm taking a few more passes because I'm changing the angles on these a little bit, because I'm going to be cutting a lot of aspen the next couple days. Quake or popple, as a lot of guys up in Minnesota, that way we'll call it, the Great Lakes region. A lot of guys will twist the file as they go too. I don't think you have to. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But you see on the file how the cuttings in the file are on a spiral. I don't feel that you have to. I will take a few passes one way, roll the file. So you're cutting on a new edge, a new section of the file. Give her a little tap every once in a while. That knocks your cuttings, your filings out of the cutting face. Keep it clean. I do the rakers. I don't do the rakers ever sharpening. I do them as I feel they need to be done. You can tell just by cutting where the saw needs to be and what you need to do. Like, you can just tell sometimes. You're cutting it and it's like, it's not grabbing like it should. So then that's when I'll adjust my rakers. And you gotta pay attention when you're doing your rakers, because you take too much off there, man, you'll have yourself a real meat hook of a chain. It'll bind up and just be dangerous. But at the same time, one that you don't have the rakers filed down enough on is just as dangerous. A dull tool or an ill-performing tool is more dangerous than a sharp as hell tool. You know what I mean? Because you're going to find yourself trying to force it through the wood or force it in situations where you shouldn't, and that's when you're going to slip up, and that's when it's going to bite you. I don't care if this chain's dull, it is all get up. It'll take your leg off just as fast as a sharp one. So everyone says, oh, wicked sharp like that. I had a guy cut around houses. We did like tree service stuff there for a while. If you saw in some of my first videos, when I wasn't logging, I would do that stuff. He used to be like, man, your chains are just wicked sharp. And he said, he said, they're dangerous as hell. You got to be careful doing stuff like that. But at the same time, I was never fatigued because I wasn't trying to horse the saw through the wood ever. You just want that saw to almost pull itself through, just enough to where it just pulls into the wood and it'll almost just draw itself through. So, plus on the aspen, I don't know if anybody's ever hand cut aspen. A lot of guys that cut aspen on the YouTube's cutting it with hot saws and things like that. But if you're hand cutting it down in the butt swell, the root flare of aspen, and you go to make your notch, it's almost hard cutting. It's almost like, feels like you're cutting a very, very hard hardwood. And it's not because it's so much because it's hard. There's a very confused grain. you know, the grain down there in that butt swell is going every which way. And you hack on it, even I don't care how sharp your chain is, it almost comes out like fluff. A little tap and a rub. File's clean. She's ready for business. Gesundheit. Excuse me, I'm leaking brain lubricant. I gotta wait for the truck to come to load up some firewood. I got rained out. You see, I got firewood piled high, and then there's scrag in the front there. But I'm probably gonna go eat some breakfast while I wait for the truck to come, and I'll go home, sharpen my bucksaw chain that I threw yesterday because I hit something. Take care of some stuff around the house, and go from there. All right, everybody, you have a good one. We'll get back to you.